Hey, I'm Janae, a licensed professional counselor, and I just want to take a little bit of time today to talk with you about how to live a whole life while living in a very broken society and world. This is, well, first we kind of have to define what I mean by a broken world and a broken society, and just understanding what that is and what that entails. And and so first, right off the bat, I just want to say that my worldview perspective is coming from a very much founded on Christian beliefs uh, and perspective. So fundamentally, I mean, I think we can agree that the world is broken. Um, on why it's broken, we may have varying perspectives, but the goal here is for me to be a support for you and how to live authentically and healthily and at your best ability despite a chaotic world. So that's going to be my goal. And so I hope that you're able to pull some practical uh, steps and lifestyle, like a few lifestyle changes that'll help you achieve that and really experience your best whole self. So I'm using the word whole a lot, and that's just kind of my counseling perspective. And in this whole, is basically what it breaks down is to like some embedded values into that. So the W is for wellness. So this is overall wellness. This is wellness for your mental and emotional health, your physical health. It's also going to target your academic and professional health as well. I mean, this is like overall wellness in every aspect of your life, and definitely within your relationships and even spiritual health. And the next value embedded into this whole concept is healing. So we want to get some healing because we've gone through a difficult life. And even if things haven't been like that difficult, there's still some wounds that have happened throughout our life that we either still need healing from, or just to give like honor to that and be like, yes, that happened and it was hurtful, and just making sure that we are healed and using these wounds as fuel to live a more honest and authentic life and not carry these wounds into our relationships as well. The next value embedded into whole is outreach. And what that means is just reaching out to your community, ensuring that you have a healthy support system. And then the next value is legacy. And what I mean by that is that when we are operating at our best whole self, that we are well in every aspect and healed, and outreaching in our community, have a strong support system, we are creating a legacy. Whether it's a healthy one or not, it'll be up to you. So at this point, yes, we have a legacy that we're leaving behind. We have an imprint that we're leaving on this world. And so we are using this time to ensure that we're creating an impactful, healthy legacy for others to follow. And then the last part of this is empowerment. So the goal is to be not only empowering for ourselves and as a source of motivation, inspiration, but also for other people. So that is like the whole counseling breakdown. And so now we're going to kind of get into how we may impact a more whole self. So a few things I want to talk with you about is basically, well, I'm going to share, my personal insights that are based on God's love letter to us, which is also called the Bible. And I'll also share some resources at the end that hopefully can jumpstart your journey toward wholeness. So just a little bit more about me is I am 100% a wholly broken person. And what that means, I've definitely done some stuff that is way up on the other end of like, hey, let's go tell mom about this. No, we don't want to do that. So really what entails is broken is that, yes, made mistakes, continue to make mistakes, and I'm wholly flawed. I'm not a perfect person, won't ever be a perfect person, and my purpose and goal is not to become a perfect person. So one thing about that is I've known at a very early age that I'm not like perfect and was born flawed, because I had this, or still do, I have this skin disorder, vitiligo actually, and in this really big white mark started growing like on my knee, and other little parts on my body, and during that time when this started, it was communicating to me that I'm inadequate, I'm not quite right, there's something wrong with me, I need to cover this up. This is a very clear sign that I'm messed up. And but what happened is when it was initially, when I got this vitiligo on my knee, the message I was hearing from not only family and friends, but from the world, and it was that there was something wrong with me, and I can't be showing that. I can't show that there's something wrong with me. I had to be perfect in a way, like show that, like cover up anything that's wrong, like not share it, not show it, just hide it and move on. Well, as I grew older, and actually it happened in 4th grade, I remember the entire moment, was I was starting to get in my feels. I was starting to feel a little bit depressed about this white mark on my knee. Maybe I was bullied before, I don't really know. I just remember my thoughts and feeling like just something was wrong with me, and I didn't like it, and I wanted it to change. And then all of a sudden I heard just like this quiet, still voice speaking over me that like I was marked for a purpose, and that this set me apart from others. And basically it became a reminder to hold myself accountable to that I don't have to be like everybody else, and that I can appreciate and love my differences and my marks as a way of reminding me that my purpose here isn't to pretend, but it is to live authentically, and to embrace every aspect of myself and show and teach others how to do that. So my question here is, how did I go from seeing like this physical flaw that was speaking over me, that I was broken, inadequate, messed up, not enough, and I needed to be covered up, hidden away, and forgotten about? How did I go from that to when I see this mark on my knee? Is that I'm chosen, I'm special, I'm set apart, I have a special purpose, I have value. How did I move from seeing myself as wholly broken and flawed and feeling that way to, yes, understanding that I'm broken and flawed, but able to walk in a healthy wholeness, acceptance, and love, and even empathy for myself with purpose. Here's the breakdown. We're not going to be able to get all into it today. I'm probably going to break up this video in a few parts, just to help digest some of the things and to give you time and space to think about a few of the things that we've discussed. So one, I'll give you a breakdown of like how this happens and how we can kind of uproot some negative thoughts and like poison basically, and toxicity in our mind that's impacting every area of our life. How we can uproot those and then implant the healthy growth that we're hoping to get to. So the breakdown is first, like, we're going to start with the roots, and the roots are our mind, our perspective, our outlook, our attitude. Those are part of the roots. Another part of the roots is our past. So trauma, any kind of trauma, any kind of relationships that we've had, just, our past. And even like the world, society, social media, just our influences from our past. And then the next step is our beliefs and our values. So there's three parts. There's our perspective, our outlook, our mind, and then it's our trauma, our history, our past, and then it's our beliefs and values. Those three things are the roots that can embed our thoughts as we move forward. The next part of this is our action. So now, all of that stuff that I said, that's in our head. None of that has actually come out yet. So now it's the actions. So it's our lifestyle, how we're living out our life, even our skills, talents, how we're spending our time, our job, our career. What does our life look like on the outside now? And at this level is where some disequilibrium and dichotomy start to occur. So if we are, and so a lot of our stuff in our mind is really going to put us in an imbalanced state at this level, because we're now acting out something. And it may or may not, what I mean by disequilibrium and dichotomy is we may or may not be living according to our values or our belief systems, which will throw us off balance and begin to breed even more negativity and pessimism in our life. And then the last part of developing a whole self is, and moving from understanding that we're broken, but not identifying with brokenness and losing all hope, to being broken and embracing that and living a whole, loving life for ourselves. So is the cultivating process. And in this process, we are going to be working on our mind, shifting our mind, understanding our thoughts, getting our thoughts captive, rerouting them or uprooting them, and implanting new healthy thoughts. So that's going to require having an open mind, listening, reflection, self-awareness, a lot. The next part of that is part of the outreach, and that is reaching out, trusting someone other than ourselves, developing different and new sources of strength, paying attention to how we're spending our time, investing in relationships with other wise people, mentors, therapists. And then the last part of this is our willpower and choice. So there's a big difference between knowing something and believing something, and then actually taking active steps of faith to live all of that out. So that is where we get into willpower and our choice and our freedom and how we're going to use that. And so that is broken up to a lot of different things of understanding what motivates us, what helps us, and investing time in ourselves and in our physical fitness, even making sure that we're giving ourselves rest is incredibly important. To rest and to rest well. A lot of us be like, oh, okay, like I'm watching TV. Sometimes that's not the rest that your body needs, wants, or is healthy for you. There's a different kind of rest that we need. And continuing to build a relationship with yourself, understand yourself, and taking active steps into giving yourself positive self-talk and actively believing and moving in this idea that it's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna handle things okay, and I'm confident in myself, and then also just being grateful. So there are many different pieces to this, and I'll just recap real quick that what we've kind of uncovered is, first, we have to accept that we live in a broken world. I mean, it's all around us. I mean, disease, one, sickness, our boundaries, limitations, death, people hurting each other, people defrauding each other, somebody lying to us, arguing, yelling, all of that shows us that this world is not okay. And so that's what we start with. And then how do we know that, yeah, we're also not okay, we're also not perfect or whole? So how do I get the closest to that so I'm not adding to the chaos and the brokenness, really? So it was divided up into 3 parts, and that was like our mind, so our perspective, our outlook, and figuring out how we shift that, change that, and notice that. The next part is our trauma, our history, how we've been treated. And in this includes our narration to ourselves, that trauma has spoken over us. Then the next part are our beliefs and our values. And I said 3 parts, there's more, sorry. And then after that is our daily active life, like how we're living things out. So our actions. And so that is like how things are formed in us, or where we're at. And then the step into shifting things or changing things up is the cultivation process, which is going to target our mind again and develop wellness, awareness, reflection, openness, empathy, and kindness, and then also develop some healing with our past, with our trauma, in our history in general, and reaching out to someone, developing a healthy support system if we realize, hey, we really don't have that. So beginning to trust others, giving some of our trust away. We can't earn trust or get trust if we don't give some of it away too, and then deciphering who are safe people to do that with. So wise people, sources of strength, identifying those and cultivating those, and then understanding our motivations, our willpower and choice, our freedom, what we're actually going to do with that. So that is the breakdown, and we are going to get into the first part. We're actually going to talk about it live on Saturday, and we're going to focus mainly on our mind, and our mind and probably some of our actions. So we'll skip like the trauma history for now. We may get into it. It'll be a surprise. So thank you so much for taking the time to look at this video. And this just kind of lays groundwork for some things that we'll go over on Saturday. And so I'll be talking with another therapist here in Longview about ways they have been able to create mental shifts and perspectives, and as well, that may have impacted their values and beliefs, and then what actions they've taken to start implementing those in their life and to live a more um, harmonious whole life. All right, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to sharing more insight with you in the days ahead. Bye, guys.